Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday. And I just don't even. I no longer have the ability to. I just can't. It's at this point it's literally just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep trying. Even though, God, it's nothing really I can do to improve, I don't think, unless, like, maybe I should be exploring, but, like, do I really want to search every tile on the map just to get through that one room easier? Even if it reveals the enemies, it's not going to be that much easier to get through because they'll still be a pain to deal with. I don't know, man. I don't know. Get out of my way, boss. Yeah. Cool. Alright. Let's try this again. Hopefully kill this guy. Cool. Managed to avoid taking the hit there, which is good. Okay. Oh man, I got through that screen without getting hit. Let's see if I can do it again. Ow. 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 Cool. One more. I wonder how. I can't. Like, I want to be more mad about this. I want to be like, how could they possibly think that this was a good part of the game? Like, this was a cool, fun challenge. But I gotta remember, right? The people who made this game had only been making games for like 10 years max. Like, video games, I should say. Right, like, yes, we're talking about Shigeru Miyamoto, but we're talking about Shigeru Miyamoto in the, like, late 80s. Definitely not the same guy he is today. So, like, even if someone like me could potentially make a better game than this now, like, you know, indie devs with only, I'm talking like indie devs with only like a few years of experience, like, even if there are indie devs making better games now, which I would argue that there probably are, they also have the perspective of being in an industry that is now like almost 50 years old at this point. Maybe 50. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, good jump. We're gonna make it. Or we're gonna land on the other side, get hit by an invisible enemy, and get knocked back into the lava. How many times do I have to sigh before I make it? I will admit, part of the reason I'm getting not as mad is because I know I can look up. There are multiple places where I can look up, not the least of which is the comments. There are places where I can look up, like, if I am doing the correct thing here. Like, if I just have to beat my head against the wall until I get through it. And I want to believe that that's not the case. But my pride is being like, nope. Well, my brain is telling me I can't think of any other thing other than something that I really don't want to do, which is explore every tile of the map. And my pride is being like, you don't want to look it up because you'll just be disappointed in yourself. So, yeah. So, that's part of the reason I'm not getting as mad. Because I'm being... I am effectively... Well, effectively isn't the right word. Essentially, I am trying to come at this problem with pure stubbornness rather than resourcefulness. And maybe it'll work out, right? Maybe I'll figure it out by myself and, you know, I'll get through it and be like, okay, cool. Like, I made it. I was determined. I got through it and now I feel really good about myself. Or maybe I'll get to the point where I get frustrated and I'm like, okay, well, I just need to swallow my ego here and just look it up. And then I'll find out that I was doing it entirely wrong. That's also possible. That's basically one of the two outcomes we're looking at here. So far, the ego is winning. And as long as it is, I can't really blame anyone until I look it up and I see that something says, "Oh yeah, you just kind of have to get through it." Then I can't really blame anyone but myself. Really, truly. But it makes me wonder, you know, internet wasn't really a thing when this game came out. If I am missing something, that means that they expected players back in the day where there was no internet to figure out by themselves what to do here. Or alternatively, they expected players, if there's not something that I'm missing, they expected players to just beat their head against the wall in this game until they beat it. Which is also possible. Okay, well, kind of put that guy in a tricky position there. It's fine. There are a couple options here. None of them are particularly favorable. But hey, this is back in the day where people had like maybe 1 or 2 games for their system. So you could expect that they were going to spend 80 plus hours on a single game. And people wanted to spend 80 plus hours on a single game. It's not the same today. There are a lot of good games out there today. And because of that, people want to finish games quicker. And the internet helps with that, right? It can tell you in games like this exactly what you need to do. You can follow a walkthrough and you can beat it a lot faster than figuring out yourself. So, perhaps part of me is just accustomed to the newer style of game that's, you know, designed to be shorter and easier because it's more about getting the player, getting the basic concept out there than actually, you know, providing a hard challenge for the player, you know. The fun comes from the idea rather than conquering a challenge, and there are some more modern games that are more like that, actually, like the infamous example being Dark Souls, right? If you play Dark Souls or one of the other From Software games like Bloodborne, or I can't really speak to Sekiro because I haven't played that one or even really watched any of that one. But if you play any of the Soulsborne games, then you know that, like, a lot of your first playthrough of that game, a lot of the time you spend on it is just going through the same areas over and over and over and over, just trying to get through it, right? a lot of the times that's all you're doing in your first run is you're beating your head against the boss over and over and over and over until you manage to, finally get the patterns down and beat it. But the difference, and again, this is one that can probably be attributed just to time and people making video games for an extra, 40 or 30, 40 years. The difference between what's happening here and what happens in Dark Souls is that in this game, areas like this don't make it feel like it's your fault when you die. Like, that death, was that? I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but was that death my fault? Truly? Really and truly? Was that my fault as a player? Maybe. Like, there is like the slimmest argument you can make that was maybe my fault. Just like that one. But it is a very hard position to defend. Yep, there it goes. I couldn't just jump because I needed to land on the platform, but I couldn't land on the platform till the enemy died. So I had to stick around for a little bit longer. And because I stuck around for a little bit longer, I got hit by an invisible enemy and knocked into the lava. Does that not sound like an accurate assessment of what happened? I mean, maybe in my editing I'll see that I actually landed on the platform and I could have just jumped over. Maybe that happened. But I feel like I've got a pretty decent grasp on what just happened there, right? Like, I know what's going wrong at this point. And I can't think of anything else I could do to get through this. Except for, again, something that would be extremely tedious, which is exploring every tile of this map. I want a remake of this game. If only so that they can have it and they can just make the end part not ridiculous. This last part after the fifth palace, they could just make this part not bad. Because the rest of the game is good. Like, it's really and truly, this is a good game. Except for this part. Of course, knowing Nintendo, there's a pretty decent chance that if they remade this game, you would lose all the elements, like every little element of finding things yourself. Granted, they toned it back a bit with games like Breath of the Wild. But if you look at, like, I've been watching Barry's streaming. Barry Kramer. I've been watching him play Skyward Sword HD because, I liked Skyward Sword when it came out and I wanted to see how the HD version fares. So far, it looks like just a better version of Skyward Sword. But one of the things that people really, myself included actually, really didn't like about Skyward Sword was that a lot of the time, before you even had a chance to do anything, they told you exactly what you needed to do. Like, Fee is perhaps the least liked companion for that exact reason, because she would pop up, like, the moment you walked into a room and tell you how to solve the puzzle. And it's like, it totally robs you of the satisfaction, any sort of satisfaction of doing it yourself, right? It's exactly the reason I don't look up walkthroughs, like I was saying earlier, because I want to feel like I did it myself. But if your in-game helper character pops up and is like, oh, hey, here's what you do, then it's not it's not even really. There's nothing to feel accomplished about, right? You're just doing what the game tells you to at that point, and it's generally not the most fun way to play a game. It's generally just more fun to figure out how to do things on your own. Okay. Gonna die here? No? Okay, well, we're gonna die on this jump then. Yep, called it. Okay. I was gonna clap, but then I remembered that peaks the mic. We're gonna give it another shot next time. But as for this episode, that's a wrap. What is there left to say, truly?